you go to the dark place to get to the light place. That's how I view it. I don't know. That's how I view it. It's like,
Yeah.
that's how I view it. You don't stay there. You go in though for periods of your life. And then you get out. And if you stay too long, you get hypothermia like me.
Dude, how are you feeling, first of all? I feel shot.
Today's the worst day.
Yesterday and today, just awful.
Yeah,
Just
pretty
feel
equal.
like all the energy is drained.
Yeah, I heard that people get sick often, like a few days after when they return home. So I wonder if
How are you feeling?
I feel fine. Just super sore. The worst was going down to the subway. You know, like the steps are like pretty steep. And I was like literally like people were like, excuse me, because I had my backpack. And I was like sidestepping down it. But besides that, I feel good. No injuries. Like that's what I think I was a little worried about, was if I was gonna have, actual pain after, but no, I feel fine. And so yeah, take a few days, rest, and then back to it.
Yeah, I think it would have been absolutely impossible for me to record a podcast with virtually anybody else. But with you, we spent the last 7 days together. I guess let's start there to like, I want this to be a recap for us so that when we look back in 10 years, we'll be like, all right, this was a foundational moment of hopefully both of our lives. So let's see. You came here on Monday? Last Monday?
Yes, missed my flight, but got there around 3 p.m.
So you got here around 3 p.m. And then for the next 3 nights, you slept on this couch. But on Tuesday, we hosted a run club where 40 or 50 people came out. Hopefully we can insert some B-roll of the running and the run club. I mean, what do you think of that? What do you think of the run club we put on there? And what was that experience like for you?
It definitely surpassed my expectations. I had high expectations, but they were surpassed. We had like 40 people there. It had to have been 40, if not more, or around that number, which is sick considering you didn't have this group, a few months ago.
Yeah.
It was cool to have like a lot of friends there for me, and some younger guys who, went to school in Austin. They love Obsession, and like it was cool to see them, because like those are the people that I think I really am supposed to reach right now, that 20, 21-year-old who needs that voice. So it was cool to meet like some of them in person. And it was also sweet to get some guys there who don't run often, like Cole and Nathan. That was really cool. That like made my day. That surprised me. I didn't know they were coming. And yeah, I really, really liked it. It made me want to start my own in New York. And you're going to keep building it. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah. I'm so excited that it seemed like so many people building their own worlds came to this, to the event. And that was so exciting. And it was like Cole Hastings, Nathan Baugh, but there was like just incredible people. And just like, I was blown away by the support. I was blown away by the love. And it was cool to like get you involved in all of it as well. We have to give a shout out to Ben Scharf, who flew down from Buffalo and slept slept right next to you, basically in my living room. And I mean, what a madman that dude is for last minute coming down. Such a savage.
That's why Ben is Ben. There are reasons people achieve outlier success in life, and it's because they take outlier actions, and no one is doing that except Ben, booking a flight to stay for 12 hours, most of which he's sleeping, just to run 4 miles with mostly strangers. And he had a good amount of friends there too. But yeah, he's a madman. He's crazy. It was the best. It was the best though.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, you describe him as like someone who like is one of the most well-connected people who doesn't have an audience himself. And it's like, the reason for that is probably because he's willing to do stuff like that.
Yeah, it's really interesting to think about. That's what I think about when I'm with him, like spontaneity and just like, you can do things no one else is going to do. And I'm sure he has a million stories like that where he flies overnight to hang out with people, and sleep on an air mattress, and that's why he's been. So it's amazing.
Yeah. So then what happened? Wednesday, Thursday. Anything of note from those 2 days for you?
Wednesday recorded a really cool workout, like vlog type of thing with Noah. That was awesome.
Noah Heisman.
Correct. Heisman. Still learning to pronounce his last name. Even though I love him. That was sick. I'll post that soon somewhere. That was like pretty epic. Never really done that. It was like doing a casual workout because it was the week of the marathon, but basically talking about like creativity and athletics like the whole time. So it was really cool. He needs to do more of that format, and I think he's going to. And then we did the comedy show, hilarious / painful.
Wow.
And then we did,
That's right,
because some of them were really bad. And then Thursday was a packed day. We hung out with, who did we hang out with? Tyler from Endorphins. Hung out with Nathan. Bog.
Wait. We got to give some shout outs to the comedy club. I mean, we have Bobby Hilbert who invited us.
Yes.
Incredible. Bobby, you're the man. So much love to him for inviting us. And then our new friend, Kevin, ran 100 miles. What's his last name? Do you know Kevin's last name?
I followed him, I think. I got to find it.
Yeah.
It's wild, though, how just like random person who you meet is just like, there's so many running savages out there. And a lot of them are quiet about it. It's just like a weekend warrior type of thing almost, where not that they only train on the weekends, but they just get after it on the weekends. It's amazing. Kevin
Wathe, or Wathy, I think is his last name. We'll put it down in the show notes below. But this dude ran, how many miles around a 1.2 mile track? Is that correct?
I think it was 100 miles, wasn't it?
So he ran 100 miles.
Maybe 50, maybe 30, I don't know. But it was a lot. It was an insane
legendary
amount.
And so we just randomly go to the comedy club with him because Bobby's friends with him, and it's like that was foreshadowing. It's all foreshadowing, for what's to come and the pain that we're about to enter. We're really building up to it, which I love, because it's like, I don't know if I haven't spent a full week with you since October of last year for Austin. So, okay, so.
And this time was different for some reason. It felt like we were just more like, maybe because your apartment's a little smaller, maybe. I don't know. It felt like we were just attached at the hip all week, but it was good. We got along fine.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
I think more than fine. I think
no, it was great. It was great. Yeah, it was great.
Okay, so what happened? So Thursday we got lunch with Nathan and Billy Oppenheimer. We saw Tyler Swartz as well, and Vicky, and we had lunch with them. And
what a crew!
Yeah, dude, great people all around. And
it's funny. I was thinking today, like, and I was telling Dylan about the difference between Austin and New York. And it's like in Austin, you just walk 5 minutes out of your apartment and you get to meet with people like that at the poke restaurant. It's incredible. Versus New York, you can do that, but it's kind of a little harder. Like, everyone has more shit going on, and like people are, you have to go uptown, downtown. It's like, it was pretty cool.
It felt like you said at some point, like, we did so much, but I didn't get anything done. Is that accurate?
Yeah, it's totally accurate. I think if I live there, I have to have some restraint on like saying yes to stuff and seeing people. And yeah, like I'm visiting, obviously I'm going to be, packing the schedule. But I don't know. I feel like if I lived there, it'd be like that all the time. It would be possible to be like that all the time.
Yeah, it was nonstop action, which was, I think, really helpful for the marathon because
distracted us.
Exactly. We weren't thinking about it nonstop, but then when Thursday hit,
then I went crazy.
Then you went crazy.
Crazy. Full blown lunatic. Full blown like head shaved. Full blown madman. And you know what's funny? I was texting Tyler today because I need to get a coach now. You have a coach. You're sticking with the same coach, right?
Yes.
I was texting Tyler today, and he says like, because I texted him. I heard you were worried about me after we talked, because I told him what my goal was. I told him I never ran a marathon, and And he's like, I was worried about you that you were going to send it so hard and push through signals telling your body to stop. I'm glad you're healthy, which I basically
that was
did.
accurate.
But it worked. I cramped and kept going. It was great.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah. I don't want to spoil the ending. Spoil the climax. Yeah.
That's hilarious. Okay, so
Tyler's
what
great.
happened on Thursday?
We we went to that lunch. Okay, and then the laundry apocalypse happened.
My God. Laundry.
Danny, that was a mess. You can explain it.
Dude, so the shower was messed up. The shower is messed up. I'm trying to get someone to fix it today. And so like the water wasn't draining on the shower. And then oh man. We put our clothes into the washing machine. We take them out early. We put them into the dryer.
Which way to interrupt you? Like, you just can't do that. Like, I had a feeling when we did that, like, you're not supposed to do that with laundry. You can't just end it early. And like, looking back, it's so dumb. But we did it, and you can keep going.
Yeah, well, we have like 2 hours into the flight, and we're like, all right, we have the dryer going. And so, like, let's just do the drying of the clothes for an hour, and we'll be fine for our flight. And we click it, and the machine starts to go on, but it doesn't spin. And then after a minute, it smells like it's burnt rubber, and the place is going to go on fire. And we're just like, okay, like now we're screwed. Now we got, and my clothes are still. So we ended up
your race clothes too, right? Like the clothes you're going to wear for the marathon,
yes.
which are important.
Yes.
Like if that was me, I would be having a full like white girl meltdown, like, you know, like spitting it, like throwing up in the bathroom. I would have been freaking out. I would have been like, Danny, we need to go to Lululemon. Like, this is over. My time is going to be over. I have to look at my paces again.
What was my reaction?
Meditate. literally just sat down. I recorded a video of you. I have to show it. I sent it to Dylan and Hunter. I didn't tell you that. I was
as this chaos is happening, I'm just like, I need to take 2 minutes. I need to just like sit with myself.
And then after you meditated, we just like, all right, let's avoid the problem and get pizza, which was honestly a good choice.
It was a good choice.
Needed the carbs, and then we realized we only had one solution. You know, same thing you do with a dead body. You just bag it and move on. And I got the jokes today.
Someone quote that.
I got the jokes today. I think it's because I'm sitting where Dylan sits, and Dylan's sometimes funny on this pod. I got that. And then my clothes are fine now. Are yours okay? Did you dry them?
Bro.
So anyway, let me finish the story.
Please.
We both decided the only solution was to put our clothes in multiple layers of trash bags and just bring them with us, because I was going back to New York after went from Austin to Memphis for the marathon, and then I went back to New York. Danny went back to Austin, and my clothes are okay now. I washed them with a lot of soap, and they only smell a little weird. How are yours?
Bro, mine are still in the garbage bag.
Bro, oh yeah, you don't have a washer. You don't have a dryer.
The dryer's still.
All right, here's what you actually have to do. You have to call, if you want, do not let this clothes sit anymore. Call one of these like pickup laundry services and just get it handled. They're not that expensive. Yeah. That's what you have to do.
You're right. You're right. That's the move.
Because otherwise you're fucked. They don't let them sit anymore. And just make sure you say like wash twice or wash extra.
Wash 7 times, please.
They smelled bad when I took them out of the washer, but the dryer, it was fine. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on from this.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So after the laundry debacle of Thursday night, we get into Friday, and Friday, well, we leave Austin to go to Memphis on Thursday night. We get there, check into the hotel really late, around like maybe 11:30 or midnight, and then it seems like, Zach, you start entering into a different mode. Like,
something switched.
Like it was an intensity, and it was also like every detail, and even those that you couldn't even think about were being like going on in your head every single second. And it was, what was it like in your head on that Friday?
Yeah, it was definitely Austin, I think, distracted me a little, which was good. I didn't have any really alone time to like think about stuff, which I think there was some things I could have done better if I had that. Like I could have probably had my paces better planned, and like knew how like plan to track them better. But I think it was probably a net positive. I think the distraction was good. I feel like if I was like that on Thursday all week, like stressing anxiety, it would have probably been bad for me. But the day of on Friday, I meant, yeah, it was stressful. I feel like it started when we went to the expo, right? And I was nervous because I have this old injury in my right quad. I like completely tore my rectus femoris, which is like the quad tendon. Quad has 4 tendons. It's the one that goes all the way up to your hip. I tore it playing soccer and sometimes feels kind of weird. So I was feeling some stuff before the run, which I think was now like mostly in my head, almost because I was able to get through the run fine. And so, yeah, when we went to the expo, I just like had a lot of questions, which were fair questions, to be fair. Like, because when I signed up for the race, I put my goal time was a 3:30 because I signed up when even a 3:30 goal was like high for me. And they put me in a corral that I am glad I didn't start in because it would have messed me up totally. And so I was asking questions about that, about the pacers. I think that's when it started, when we went to the expo. And then it was just like, all right, I'm going to wake up tomorrow and have to run this. And I was very anxious because of the uncertainty.
What about the shakeout run before the expo?
Even shakeout run, I was nervous. Like I was feeling not good in my leg. I was going slow. I was sweating. My heart rate was probably high. I think I was just a wreck because I had no idea what I could do, honestly. I had a few good runs, but didn't have enough data to be fully confident.
Yeah, I mean, from my perspective, it was like maybe every 20 minutes, it would be a conversation around like the nutrition or a conversation around like the specific paces or if I do this, then this happens. And
I was so annoying. I'm sorry. Thank you for dealing with me.
It wasn't annoying.
Okay.
It was just like, it was a cool look into your own brain. And I really appreciated that. I was like, this is what it's like to be with an athlete who really cares about their performance and is undertrained. Like, I think that was also one reason you just had no idea what to expect. Mm-hmm. And you were you had been training for 1 month for real, really.
Yeah, even though there is sort of like I've been saying that, but looking at like my other stuff, like I was dieting hard for like 2 months before that. That's like a big piece.
True.
And I was doing like 60-mile months, 50-mile months, which isn't a lot though. It's not a lot. That's like a casual
15
runner.
15 miles a week.
Yeah, it's like a casual runner almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
which
like the full
bad.
Context. Yeah.
It isn't bad, but I think that's part of the reason why you were freaking out so much, or at least
100%.
so nervous.
100%. Yeah, there was no data. Like I had this belief that I could do something, but there was nothing to back it up except my delusion. And so it wasn't delusion. It worked. But like the confidence was delusion, and people who love me, like Tyler and Casey, thought that. They were like, it's delusional.
Yeah. So what was your prediction for yourself going into the race? Or what were you hoping to achieve?
Can I be honest? It's weird. I don't even remember anything I was thinking about on Friday. Like I can go back in my notes. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I decided the day before I was going to go for a 3:15. I don't remember what. Actually, no. Sorry, I texted Hunter Thursday night, going for 3:15, but that was like in my brain a massive stretch. It was kind of like when I ran with him. I thought 6:45 was a big stretch. Me and Hunter did a 10K run, 6 miles at a 6:45 pace a few weeks before the marathon, and I had no idea if I could do it. It was kind of the same thing where I felt like it was extreme, but part of me thought I could do it. Like there was something in me that just like for some reason believed I could surpass whatever goal I set. And I know I didn't surpass 3:15, but in my eyes, like I basically hit it. If I didn't cramp at the end, I definitely would have. And so I don't know. It's a win for me. It's a win for me.
You were in the neighborhood.
It's a 3:16, a minute off. So it's like, yeah. Anyway.
So you were thinking like, all right, 3:15 is what I'm aiming for.
It's like that was my goal. That was the stretch goal. The real plan though, honestly, when I was going to the race my plan was to do a 7:25. Sorry. My plan was to stick with a 7:25 average pace.
Which is what?
I believe that is a 3:15.
Gotcha.
Which I didn't hit. My average pace was a 7:30. And then
Gotcha.
that was my day of plan. My like 2 days before plan was to do a 7:35 pace and then push for the last 6 miles. So a 7:35 pace was going to get me in at a 3:20, right? So my thought process was, okay, stick with the 3:20 pace, and if you feel good, go for the 3:15 at the last 6, right? I'm so glad I didn't do that. There's no way I would have done it. I would have done worse, I think. So anyway, yeah. Instead, I moved that up. I'm like, let's go with the 7:25 pace the whole time and see if you can stay under that. I went out. Do we want to jump into the race and just say how it went?
I also want to hit the pre-race before.
Yeah. So okay. So yeah.
What was the sleep the night before when we
didn't
woke
sleep
up?
at all? I think I genuinely slept 30 minutes. I'm not joking. And we slept shitty that week. It's a good reminder that I don't think you have to sleep before a marathon the night of that well. I think like if you just get sleep the week of, you're gonna have so much adrenaline, especially if you're at a big race, that you don't worry about it. It's like Hunter slept 3 hours. I think it's normal. How are you supposed to go to bed when you know that you're about to run 26 miles? It's like, even though you did.
Yeah. I mean, I meditated before bed and I slept 5, 6 hours. But before I was going to bed, every maybe like minute, I would hear you go, like just like going over things in your head. Like, Lord knows what you're thinking, but it was just like a heavy, deep breath right before.
It was a lot of stress.
A minute, every minute, which was...
Because honestly, the whole week, Danny, I genuinely thought I was going to make it to mile 7 and my leg would hurt and I would be limping for the rest. The whole time, a big part of me thought that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Because I thought I hurt my leg training with Hunter hard. The leg that I had the surgery on. Got you. Which I honestly might have a little bit, but I didn't feel it. So I don't know.
Time will tell.
Yeah.
So what happens then at like 6 a.m., 2 hours before the race?
I get up, take some shirtless pics, which are on my Twitter and Instagram. Feel free to enjoy. Because my weight was like a big thing, honestly. It was almost like I did a running prep and a bodybuilding prep all in one, it felt like. Because like a bodybuilding prep is basically cutting, which is interesting, right? It's like, I feel like that's not super normal for a running prep. You kind of just lose weight like naturally. But I intentionally like lost 20 pounds in about 3 months. And but yeah, the morning of, just put on some music. My headphones barely were working for whatever reason. They usually work fine. I have them in right now. Nothing ears. They're usually great, but I think they were dead or something. Playing my Dark Place playlist, which is like classic rock. A lot of Sympathy for the Devil, Rolling Stones. Great song.
Is that public?
I should make it public. I think, yeah. If you listen to this, I'll put it in my bio, my link in bio. A link to it. I could put it down below too. Yeah. That song came from Haruki Murakami's book. When I talk about running.
Which song?
Sympathy for the Devil. I think that's what it's called. I started listening to it after I read that book, and I just like, that helped me through a lot of hard runs. That song. Yep. Sympathy for the Devil, Rolling Stones. That kind of music. Some old like breakup songs, like like all songs I listened to when I was like in college and like in dark places, honestly. And just getting in the mind state and trying to like take care of my body. I woke up, I pooped twice. It was like it's amazing how you learn to just listen to your body, you know? Like you have a plan of what you want to take and what you want to do, but my body, like before I left, knew I needed a little more carbs or knew I needed to go to the bathroom twice. Like, you know, it's amazing. That's honestly an amazing part of this prep. And it's something I can always kind of trust. You know, I can always kind of trust that my body will know what I need. And that's like a good, even though it kind of didn't in some ways, which we can get to. But it's a good feeling, you know? Yeah. The craziest part to me was that you took like, I couldn't stop laughing when you talked about, I asked how many electrolyte packets you took. Five before we left. You told me 15, and it just seems like such an unreasonable amount. I think I took 15 throughout the day. Throughout the
day?
The run. Like, okay. Yeah. I think I was joking, but the truth is I needed 15. Honestly, I should have had more, which is the crazy part.
I just like think about Tim Ferriss, like when he does the element reads, the LMNT reads. He's like, yeah, take 1 per day, max 2. And then when I'm like, how many did you take? And you're like, 15. I just couldn't stop laughing. I was like, you were pouring there was like the shaker mix, and you were like pouring it on yourself. It's spilling all over the face.
It was full. Well, I had that shit in there. I had like Nick Bear's thing, G1M Sport. Oh, that thing was so gross, but I chugged it. My thing throughout the run too, I can go over a full nutrition plan. I don't know if we need to do that right now. I don't even know if what I did was right, but I learned a lot from Jeremy Miller on YouTube. He has great videos.
Jeremy Miller. He was cited often as the guru of the week.
Because I still think he has like the most educational marathon videos on YouTube. Him and Nick Bear probably. Anyway, but yeah, and the thing I had a bottle I took with me, which I had for like the first 10 miles of the run. That thing was pure battery acid. Like that thing tasted so bad because it was like a mix of all this stuff. It was rough drinking. Luckily, you're running, you don't think about it, but anyway, yeah, and then, we walked out of the hotel.
We walked there.
What a fun walk. I'll never forget that walk.
It's 7:30. The race starts at 8 a.m. And the walk is maybe a 5-minute walk.
Felt like an hour.
And as we're walking there, you're like, I think we're in the wrong place. I only see half marathon.
I was so nervous.
I only see half marathon runners. I was cracking up. I was like, dude, what are you talking about? You were like, I remember thinking at one point, like, and realizing and understanding you were going to find a problem with anything before you started running. Like, there was nothing that was safe. The conditions could never be perfect. You were going to find a problem. And I think this is like how some people operate all the time. And honestly, being with you kind of like made me realize how different my mindset is in so many ways, because I was like, there is nothing wrong. And even if we don't race the way we want it, like, it's all good. And I think you were finding problems with everything, which was interesting to note, and how interesting it shifted once the race was over. But yeah,
what do you think? It was that? Maybe it was that bad. I don't remember was it that bad? I was looking for problems everywhere. I was nervous.
We were walking to the marathon, and you're like, I think we're going to the wrong place. I only see half marathon bibs.
And it turns out it's because like everyone was running the half marathon, and like there's not that many marathon runners. Yeah.
Yes. There was 3,000 or 5,000 total marathon runners and 26,000 participants. So like way more people, I guess, were running half marathon. Makes sense.
Yeah.
But
yeah, you're right.
Interesting, right?
And then yeah. Surprisingly, I actually felt like, I guess I was like that morning. I was like, I wasn't that bad, but I was pretty bad. I only tied my shoes like 4 times, which is a good number for me. Usually it takes me like 12. That was what I used to always do with soccer. I had like the worst OCD with like tying my shoes 1,000,000 times. Yeah. And the day of it wasn't that bad.
Well, you got in my head about that too. I retied my shoes 7 times as well, as you see Hunter on the video. What up, Hunter?
What's up, Coach?
Recording a pod out
my
here.
other coach, him and Noah.
Oh my god!
You can speak on the mic if you want.
Is this a podcast?
Yeah.
This is a podcast.
Yeah.
Yes, we're live.
Congrats, bro.
Yeah.
Thanks, bro. We'll catch up about everything.
Yeah, just in case he's off this for like 3 hours talking
Really?
about Tucson. Yeah, I walked in there, we started talking about marathons, and we're like, none of us want to work this week. We don't want to work. We just want to talk and think about training and get to Tucson and start running. And we're like, what are you doing tomorrow? What are you doing? Like, what did you do today? 'Cause no one knows.
It's the week of. It's
week
intense.
of. Like,
That's what we're recapping
today,
right
no
now.
Run tomorrow.
That's what we're recapping the madness right now of the morning of.
How are you feeling,
I was
Hunter?
telling him about how you guys are going to Austin, and you're like, well, I'm like, dude, I just did a block since August. I haven't stopped running. I'm tired.
Danny asked how you're feeling right now.
In terms of for Tucson?
Yeah.
So I just told Casey, like, in a ideal perfect scenario, I run a 2:43.
2:43. But how are you feeling?
Dude, my ankle's still not 100%, but it's way better than New York, so I view it as good as it's gonna get.
Do you think you
I don't know what's wrong
have
with
the
it.
same fitness or like better?
I think I have better fitness. So what I just told Casey is think of New York as instead of being a race, New York was part of my training block for Tucson.
Yeah.
So that was like the last hard week, and then I tapered into this past month.
Yeah.
So basically, like Tucson was just another training effort. Think of it as like going out for a 26-mile run. Or New York was like a 26-mile run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good way to look at it.
So like that's where I was like, Casey, I've had a very easy 4 weeks because I peaked 4 weeks ago to like taper into.
Basically, yeah.
Like, try to taper.
I think that's a good way to look at it. I still got to talk to Casey.
Yeah, he's.
Was he pumped? What did he say? Was he pumped about me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
He said he was wrong?
No, I didn't even admit it. It's just like, dude's a fucking freak.
I think he said in here when we were in here, he's like, yeah, if you do 3:15, it means you are like a miracle. It's like a miracle or like something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I'm joining the freak club with you. Let's fucking go.
I mean, it's the greatest drug ever. Everyone like talks shit on it.
That's what I told Hunter.
Should I just get on here for a minute?
Yes, get on the pod. Yeah.
Here, you can take.
I just have
This is Hunter Weiss.
call out.
Right here.
Guest appearance on the
I
podcast.
have one thing to call out is fucking Danny and Andy Frisella talk so much shit to me at first form. They're like, why are you so skinny? Like, what's your deal? You got to get in the gym. And I actually took it to heart, and I went hard in the gym like the whole year while running and put on some good mass. But then I realized, like, I don't need that much. You don't need much mass to run fast. But, like, the hybrid model is great. But now you texted me about I want to get faster, and I'm like, how much you weigh? You got to lose some weight, get shredded. It just feels so good because you're pushing. It's like I tweeted the mental game, the you versus you versus the gym is good. Like it feels good. You get a pump. Running is like what am I capable of? Like,
Totally different.
What can I physically get my body to do? And like you can't get it overnight.
Yeah.
I think the best people have years behind it.
Bro, both are great. But I just want to thank you. This is Hunter Weiss, by the way, for those who are listening and are like, who is this man talking? I mean, it's incredible how much Hunter's impacted our journey to start running.
We wouldn't
like,
be having this conversation.
April 19th, 2023.
Yeah,
I say to
we
you,
wouldn't be sitting in this room without you introducing me to Zach. And it's like crazy how it all works out. But then how all of us influence each other in different ways.
It's all connected.
Hunter helped bring out the madman in me this year. The madman training side, on life side.
Even that Central Park run, I could not believe what Zach put down.
Yeah.
I knew he was going to be fine when we ran that loop, and we hit the Harlem
Get closer
Hill.
to the mic.
We hit the Harlem Hill, and I knew when he put down a 640 on an uphill on the backside of Central Park. I was like, and I actually also knew that he was pushing as hard as he could because he wasn't speaking, and I kept checking in. He's like, this man can't talk. That's a great sign.
Dude, that was me. We're telling the whole story of the race, but I got to show you some of these pictures of me running because I do this thing I was telling you. I think like half the race my eyes were closed, so I wasn't talking and I wasn't even looking. Like I had to just be alone in what. Do I have pictures?
Running?
No. I shouted in the bathroom here. My phone. Yeah, bro. That run was monumental for me, I think, confidence-wise. 100%. Because we were talking about how I just had the morning of and the night before the race, I was just a nervous wreck. Because I was in Austin all week.
That's how it is, though. Like,
but I had no idea.
When the thing with marathons is I texted Ken Rideout about it before. He's like, I don't sleep the night before. No one does. You get your good sleep 2 nights before. So
just said this,
you're like before New York, I slept I think like close to 11 hours 2 days before, and then the night before New York, I slept. My watch said 3 hours and 5 minutes. So I got PR'd off 3 hours and 5 minutes, but I got all my sleep 2 days before because your body's gonna have so much adrenaline.
Yeah, I think I slept like 1 hour the night before. Couldn't sleep at all.
Well, now it'll get easier after your first one.
I was so nervous.
It's always like that, which is like why you don't want to ever take drugs because then it's going to mess up your performance. Like if you could take a sleeping pill the night before, you don't have to worry about waking up and having performance issues. People would do that, but that would scare me. Yeah.
Okay, so let's get to the run. What happened once we get to? I mean, we could talk about the P story as well.
Oh, let's start there. So we said bye to each other. So the Memphis Marathon was a big marathon. How many total participants in everything?
26,000 total.
26,000.
6,000 ran the marathon, I think.
Yes, 6,000 ran the marathon. I think less. Didn't we say like 4,000? I don't know, whatever.
4,000 to 6,000.
But the porta potty situation was very bad before the race. There was like 10 porta potties, all with lines of 30 people.
Yeah.
Is that New York too?
No, New York
was good.
Yeah, it has tons.
So I just, dude, the race was starting in 5 minutes, huge lines. I just said, fuck it. Went in front of the whole line and just like cut this old guy off. And I was like, 10, I have to go. Smartest thing I ever did. Because that's like, yeah, I'm sorry. Like, if to be fair though, like
That's on Memphis though.
It's on Memphis, and to be fair, I'm running the marathon. To be fair, maybe some of those people are running the marathon, but like I'm running the marathon. I have to get to the first corral.
Sure.
This isn't a casual day. Like, I'm sorry, this is war, and it starts in the porta potty.
Sure.
And anyway,
Yeah,
so then
I mean, I shit my pants twice during New York. I had 2 porta potty breaks. Like I was like, oh, where is it? Where is it? Like,
oh man, and then yeah, and so then I went up to I was in the back of the first corral. I'm glad I got the right spot. Because I was right on the start of my pace, and then the race started. Is that where we're going to go to next?
Yeah.
How are you feeling?
Yeah.
How are you feeling in that moment?
Well, dude, I had to pee as well. And I was like, listen, if I have to pee so bad, I'm just going to hold it in. And so I just ended up saying to myself, like, I'd rather pee my pants than cut someone on the porta potty line. And then...
Too nice. I cut like 100 people.
Bro, you got in my head about the tying your shoes over and over again.
Yep.
I retied my shoes maybe 4 times as I'm just like standing waiting for everything to happen. And
you don't want them too tight. You want them
Yeah.
loose because your foot's going to swell. And
Yep.
Yeah, and then you get that foot pain or toes go numb.
My
what happened to you,
my
right?
right foot went numb.
Dude, yeah.
And
That's
around like
when you tie your shoe, put your finger underneath and put your finger on top of the shoelace, then tie it around your finger, then pull your finger out.
that's pretty smart.
Does that make sense? So like when you
Say
tie
it
your
again?
shoe, when you tie your shoe, you're gonna put your finger here, put your finger underneath the loop.
Oh,
So it
that's
creates
smart.
This like finger worth, like, I don't know who showed me that, but then it won't ever be too tight on the top of your foot here.
Wow. That's genius. Thank you. Go watch that on YouTube if you're just listening to this podcast. And then as we're standing there, like, and they do the national anthem, I'm ready to cry.
I was crying.
There's like, it's
cried.
like,
Did you cry in New York City? No. I cried. I was
well,
tearing
it was
up.
a few
Before or
things.
after?
It was a few things. One, it was like,
This is before.
it was like children with cancer. Like, it's America. It's so many people there for a common goal. It's like, I'm thinking about all the training that I did to lead up to this moment. My parents are here. I get to do it with Zach. Brett Ender, Harry Gray, and Noah Heisman are there with us to support us. Your parents are there. I'm just like, oh my God. Like, there's so much on this one singular moment. It kind of just hit me as they're playing the Star Spangled Banner.
I get goosebumps. I get goosebumps thinking about it, like right now when you
Yeah.
talk about it.
And then the gun.
Yeah.
Did you have a gun?
Was there a gun? I don't think there was.
I think so.
I maybe didn't hear.
I think. Okay, what happens?
The
race
race starts. There was not a lot of fast runners, and you could look at that by my time, which was like I was like 85th in the whole marathon. I was like 12th out of 25 to 29 men. Like there just wasn't that many people going fast, and so
Everyone was at CIM.
what'd you say? Everyone was
CIM
at
weekend.
everyone was at CIM, and so it starts, and I weave in and out some people who I guess were in the wrong spot. Whatever, they were going really slow, and dude, it was just the first 4 miles were really special. Like just this surreal, wonderful feeling. Just feels like you're floating.
Euphoria
like
state.
euphoria. I was watched. So like I said, I was trying to stick 7:25 the whole time. That was that would be a 3:15 or 3:14. I forget. But I just, I was just moving. I think I did like 7:11, 7:10 the first few miles, and just felt so light. And I was watching my heart rate. I was making sure like I was not pushing too hard, which I think was the right thing to do. But in retrospect, I probably went a little too fast. But it was just an amazing feeling, to experience those first few miles. How are they for you? Eating some Skittles, by the way. Just
Love
like,
that.
Casual.
Good.
What is it?
Performance enhancing drugs.
So I spoke to my coach before, and he's like, "Dude, go out like kind of slow." Like I said 9-minute paces. He was like, probably 9:15 is what I would suggest. And then I did the first mile at 9:15, and I was like, "Yo, this is so slow." Like I'm not doing this at 9:15. The second one at 9:15, so I bumped up to 8:30, and that felt good. and I was kind of making sure that my heart rate, I didn't want it to go too high too fast. And then I found like a crazy groove by the fourth or fifth one, which is to me like I felt like, how am I going this fast? Like I haven't hit 755s in training, and like obviously I did speed work once a week, but just to have my heart rate be so low and be going so fast for me, I was like, this is the coolest feeling in the world, which happened from like mile 4 to 15.
You did the taper right. You know, I think that's why. Yeah. Like I felt the few days before with the carbs, especially because my prep, I think I was saying, was kind of unique because I was dieting. My carbs were pretty low the whole time, even with putting in, miles, to be fair, for like a month or two. I just felt euphoric with the carbs. The few days before, 3 days before, I had like 600 to 900 grams of carbs.
You probably like almost went keto a bit, very low carb, right? So your body was in
pretty low, like 200 to 300 depending on running. And I took the 3 days. It honestly probably helped me a little. Like the 3 days of 800, 900 carbs, I felt like I was ready to explode with energy.
Yeah, you had so much energy.
Yeah, I still have it today. Like it's like, that's how I felt. I'm like, it's effortless. It was amazing.
It's interesting what you said, Danny, because usually it takes like the first 4 or 5 miles is the body getting into the groove, the adrenaline setting in, endorphins, and then it hits you, and you feel really good going on until then you hit like the brutal point. So like the first couple miles, you're kind of in that flow state, and then
that's what he said.
Yeah,
right?
But like usually that's common, like 4 or 5 miles in, and then you feel good, and you're on. Like it's tough to find your pace the first couple miles. So it's like it takes 4 or 5, and then you found your pace, you found your groove, you're separated from the group, and now you're kind of in your own race now. Because the first couple miles, it's really easy to get caught with other people or be worried about stepping on ankles or someone bumping into you. You're kind of in that cautious state, and then it's just you go straight to war.
Yeah,
when does war usually start for you?
Dude, that's the thing. Every marathon's different. Like, where'd you start? When did it get like extreme? What was the hardest mile? Like, do you remember that? Like, boom.
24, 25.
When did it start to get hard, though? That's the other question.
I felt like it could have started to get hard around 21, but like I'll tell that story.
You were just coasting?
Dude, New York, I was at 16, like dying. I remember seeing Marcus Milione at 14. I was like, bro, are you good? He's like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm like, this is tough. He's like, yeah, this is really hard. And I was like, I wanted to quit at mile 17.
At 17, you wanted to quit?
I stopped for like 10 seconds to like stretch my leg. Yeah. And I had my name on, they're like, go, keep running. And I was like, oh shit, I got to keep moving.
So, and then we both said for like miles 4 to like 10, right? Just ripped by. Felt like nothing, right?
4 to 15 for me.
For you? Yeah.
All were under 8:10, which was great.
Pretty similar for me. For some reason, like the tracking on my watch and my race times were so radically different. It's like, it doesn't make sense. They are. Like, it showed me my slowest section in the middle of the race at like 8:22s, and I don't remember going anywhere near 8.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me, but it's whatever. That's accurate. And so it's like, in my brain, there was friction there. Like I said, none of my watch paces I don't think went over that time during those miles. So it's like I didn't know I was going that slow. But though there was like a period, that was the only time I ran with some people, was like 13 to 16, because that's when I started playing the mind games, where I was like I said, floated to mile 10, kind of cruised to like 13, knew I went too fast. I came into the half at, I think, what did I do, 136? Yeah, 136 half. My goal was like 140, so that was good. Because I remember Jimmy DeSico, is that how you say his name?
Yeah, I think so.
Super Coffee. He helped me, Super Coffee founder helped me with some good advice. He's like, because he knew my goal was sub 320 at least, and he said if you go 130 half, you're kind of fucked, you went too fast. But if you go like 140, that means you're good. So I think I kind of was perfect, like 136.
Yeah.
Because I wanted 315. And anyway, and then 10 to 13, I started to feel some friction. That was the only time, I paced with some people. I just like joined some guys running. Me and this guy with barefoot shoes ran for like a few miles. That was fun. Savage. And then I started to play the mind games where I'm like, all right, you just have to get to 16. And then once I got to 16, I'm like, you just have to get to 18. And then 18, these are the segments, by the way, how I split up my brain. Because originally, my plan was just get to 20 and then do the last 6 hard. And that was so dumb. Like, that is just not how it goes. So instead it was like, get to 18 because you've never been that far in your life. And once you get there, you're in a PR territory. This is insane what you're doing.
Yeah.
You have that energy. And then 18 to 20, you're like, all right, 6 left once you get to 20. But then once you get to 20, it's like, all right, now it's really you have to get to 23. Because 4 left is a lot. 3 left is like, all right, you can push.
Like
Is it what you
starts
did?
at mile 20. It's like that's like the joke with marathoners. Like
Yeah,
the
20,
race
the
starts
roll.
at mile 20.
And I knew that in my brain, and I started to get slower. And go ahead, Danny.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I remember Casey Neistat said to you, the marathon is 2 halves, the first 20 and the last 6. And
Correct.
that was seared into my brain. When I hit 20, I was like, all right, second half starts. And so I had with that perspective, it was so helpful.
It's correct. It's totally correct. And the other advice that I liked, that William Gouge posted somewhere, it's like first 10 with your mind, make sure you're hitting the paces. Second 10 with your training, just trust the training you did. And last 6 with your heart. I like that. It was actually really helpful to me. Because, at the beginning, you don't want to overpace, even though I did. Anyway. And yeah, so now we're at where in the story? Mile
Let's
like
say
18, 20, where it gets hard?
Yeah.
How was that for you?
So mile 18 through 21, we're through the park. And I love that because it was like everywhere people are cheering with you and they're excited and they're getting crazy. And I was like, I like just hearing my own thoughts. I like hearing what's going on in my head. I like hearing the pitter patter. I like the nature. That's part of why I like running. And I felt that feeling of being in training while being through 18 through 21. I get through the park, which is 21. And as I get through, I'm starting to slow down. And a dude comes up to me and is like, nice shirt. And this is the first time anyone speaks to me in the entire, 21 miles. And he's like, do you need anything? Like, do you need gels? Do you need nutrition? I got you if you do. Just such a nice guy. And I was like, nah, I'm good, but I appreciate it. And we ended up speaking for the next 2 or 3 miles.
How are you
and
talking?
Running together.
How are you talking? Like, I was fucking dying. I
don't
saw
know.
your parents at that mile, and they were like laughing at me. I was walking by, ran by. I'm like, I'm dying.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
No,
Zach didn't look good.
I was like, I can't give this guy my full energy. Like, I can't ask him questions. Like, I don't have that in me to give to him right now. But I just appreciated running with someone. And it was so interesting running with someone because it was like we had this shared goal, shared mission. We had shared context for life. Like he knew Jocko and knew of Jocko and listened to podcasts and stuff. So that was really cool and like a moment that I'll never forget. And then, what was crazy about it was my grandpa telling me at that time, my grandpa ran marathons his whole life. And he's like, mile 21 to 23 is going to be the hardest time for you. So like lock in for then based on your training and what you've done, 21 to 23 is going to be difficult. And, 21, this guy comes up to me and we end up running together until mile 23. And it just so happens that this guy's name is the same name as my grandpa, Richard. I mean, the odds of that were so low. And it's just like, to me, that was such an amazing sign of God. And I was so blown away by that.
That's something that happens in marathons, I swear.
Yeah.
It's just like this weird syncs, like where you just sync up with something. You're like, how did that happen? Like, I had my headphones in at mile 26. I look up. I look to the left. There's my mom and sister. My mom's holding a sign. They're screaming. I didn't know where they were. They were at mile 16 and they're at mile 26. I didn't see them at mile 16. I look up. I'm scanning the left side of the finish line before going to Central Park, just looking at the crowd. And there's my mom and sister holding the sign up like 150 feet.
Right?
And I waved to them. My mom got this epic photo. Like, they came out to New York for the marathon. I'm like, that's the type of things that happen. So you're just in sync with random occurrences, but you're drawn to that.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that moment. Like, it'd be one of the coolest moments ever because I'm like in so much pain, and I saw them. I'm like, I can go so much harder. I can go so much harder until I get to this finish line.
Yeah, you just feel in sync with everything. Like, there are some moments that are so transcendent.
You want to know why?
Why?
You're in the purest amount of presence because there's nothing else that you're thinking about other than getting to that finish line, and there's nothing else that matters. So it forces like every bit of your body to be in a present state, and you're in such a present state that you're feeling everything in your body. So you're battling your mind and how your body feels. And if your body feels bad but your mind feels good, you know you can push through it. And if it's the opposite, your mind might feel bad, you want to quit, but your body can keep going, then it's like you have to reframe the way you're thinking.
Forces presence. That's so good.
That's how I felt. I went no phone, like left the phone with my mom, and just like, which I'm, you know me, I'm always on my phone, and it's like, it was just going on this journey, and it's like,
was that difficult for you to do without phone?
It wasn't difficult.
Without music.
Yeah, I've never really ran without music either, which is like, but it wasn't difficult, honestly. I like enjoyed it.
No shame with music. Everyone likes to shame.
I wonder if music would have helped me because I'm very big into like the almost like self-hypnosis in the running, right? In the dark place.
Heavy metal. You listen to heavy metal when you
heavy
run,
metal
you run
puts you.
fast.
Heavy metal is like a cheat code for the dark place. It like opens the door for you. That's how I look at it, and that's what I would do in training. Like I talk about, we can talk kind of. Let's I guess now talk about it. Like some things that really helped me while I was running, and these are things I didn't learn anywhere. Most of them I just like thought to myself and kept thinking of them. Is I'll post some more pictures because I just got the pictures they take, like the race photographers, and almost half of them, my eyes are closed.
Yeah.
And not closed like blinking. Closed like I was running with my eyes closed. Almost. it's squint.
For demons.
No. Yeah. When you close your eyes, they're all around you. But it's like I'm squinting just so I can see my feet. And somehow that I was reading the Murakami book, and he did the same. He did the same thing with his. His thing was very similar. He would narrow his vision so he could just see his feet. And maybe that's where I got that from. But my thing is like
Why do you think a race
blinders,
has
blinders, and just like nothing in the surrounding, and they would help me. What I was telling myself multiple times was just fall asleep, and just I did that, and that helped me get through a few miles where I don't remember what they look like. I don't remember what the miles look like at all. I just was gone. The other thing that really helped me, turn your brain off. That's from Nick.
actually really interesting to say. Like there's certain miles you just never will remember.
Never remember, but I actually didn't see them.
Like certain miles you'll never remember. Like I just think about that. Like certain marathons, there's certain miles that are ingrained in your conscious and like your soul for the rest of your life. And then there's other miles where like those were just part of that journey that don't matter.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Usually
You
it's
went
like,
through
I
a
feel
gap,
like,
and
I feel like that's like the 10 to like that's like the 6 to like 12ish area.
It's different for everyone. It sounds
Different
like.
for everyone, but yeah, and so there's different mantras for different parts, but like during the middle, it was more less of like the closing eyes, less dark place. It was more just in my brain, I came up with this term. It's called seated pace. This is just my term.
Seated pace.
Seated
what does
pace.
that mean?
And this is like sitting into the pace I wanted to stick at, which was 7:25. And in my brain, it almost feels like I'm sitting down. I don't know. This is just how I think of things. And it felt like I was like sitting in motion almost. Does that make sense at all or no? It's fine if it doesn't. It's helped me. And it helped me. And it's like just sit into this. I don't know. It should feel like you're sitting, like you're relaxed. And I don't know. But then later on, it's like when I was in the dark place, which for me was, I mean, you can look at my splits. It's like, it was mostly mile like 21 to 24.
Let me pull up the splits.
Yeah, you can pull them up. I guess use the race.
It's funny.
Thing is, the race ones don't reflect it. The race ones don't reflect it well.
It's funny that you talk about like sitting into this, like seated pace.
Yeah.
Because I think about like relaxing
Similar.
into the moment as best I can. Always.
It's similar. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then so I struggled in that park. I was all alone.
Hills?
There was big hill before the park.
You guys.
Yeah, slowed down heavy there.
Yeah.
And
what was the tracking like?
There was also no people. There was also the park. I was completely alone. Like I looked around me, not one person, which was hard. Like it's easier to run when there's people in front of you or just around you. That was actually, I think, something I might never experience again in a marathon unless I do one smaller than this. Is running, like I said, back last quarter of the race. No, I was alone the whole time. No one running with me. No one pacing with me, which was good and bad. I think.
The one we're doing next weekend, our whole group that's going down there. There's no people.
Small.
I mean, we don't have. There's no
Fans?
one like. There's no fans. Like, just you.
Wow.
On roads,
Intense.
running your own thing, like in your own mind.
It's kind of sick though.
Might even have a friend, like, because you could technically drive the course while we're running it still. Like, hand me bottles.
Yeah,
so I
that's what we
don't
did.
like do full handoffs to make it as efficient and fast as possible.
I
Wow.
recommend that.
Yeah.
That's what we had. Our buddy Noah, all praise to Noah, saved the day. And he tossed me waters and gels the whole time, twice, saved my life, and paced me. That was the big thing. Mile 20, there's like that video. Mile 24 got me moving good. Huge.
That was Dylan.
Huge.
That was Dylan in New York. He saw me. I'm like, Dylan, please come run with me. I was dying. And he just like ran a little bit. I got some energy and just took off.
So what was the dark place for you, or the darkest?
It was, I'm pretty sure, I have to look. It was like 21 to 24, and I was going slow. This was in the park. I was doing like 7:45, 7:55, 8. I think I got an 8 mile. And this is where I was kind of like, I don't know. In my brain, I just deeply knew I could push at the end. It was just, when was I going to be able to, you know? Like, I knew the last 2 miles I'd be able to, but I didn't get it really before then. And so to me, it was just like, get to the last 2 miles, because I knew I'd be able to push. I knew it would be flatter. I knew it would be downhill. But that part crushed me. The park crushed me. And it was really dark. I don't know how I got through it. I don't really remember that time. I just remember it was really painful. And I felt like I was sprinting in those miles, just sprinting, even though I was going slow.
How do you come back to life?
The Noah thing definitely helped me. That honestly was huge. I don't know where I would have finished if he didn't help me. And then I think I turned a corner. There was like you remember, like towards the end, you kind of get on the last road, right? You did the U-turn on that side road,
Stonewall.
in the neighborhood, Stonewall.
It was called Stonewall
How do you remember the street?
because just it was so prophetic. It was
Okay.
literally where
The
most people would
Stonewall.
hit the wall.
Noah said that, right? Or did
Yeah.
Noah say that? Yeah.
Yeah.
And so after Stonewall, that's where I think that was where there was 2 miles left, or maybe 2.5 or 3.
Stonewall was 22 to 23, I think.
Okay, yeah. So I don't remember. It was whenever I got to 24, I felt good. I had 2.2 miles left. And that was when I just
You
started.
felt good with 2.2.
Yeah, I just felt good. I was ripping, and then, yeah. Where are you at this time?
Richard leaves me. And I started feeling
Richard.
bad because I thought we were going to run together to the finish. And he's like, got a dip. And he ended up finishing a minute faster than me. And just like thinking in my head that I had someone to run with the rest of the way to, no, you don't, you're doing this shit alone, was like something I had to recalibrate really quickly in my head. So that's where I was at.
When did you get faster towards the finish, or not really?
I gotta check the time, so I don't think so.
Yeah. Were you trying to, or you just weren't?
Yes.
You just weren't able to. You just did your.
Correct.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, I
was
know
able
the last half mile I was faster, but
Yeah. It was downhill though, but
yeah.
no offense. Yeah, no, and so then.
But you weren't. Like your
What?
26 mile was slower than your 27.
Say that again.
Like
There's no 27 mile.
right, obviously. But on the Garmin, I'm looking at it right now. Your 26 mile says 7:18, and your
Yeah.
27th, which is a half mile because the Garmin tracking was messed up, it says 7:52.
I'm gonna pull it up so I can give good context.
Defend yourself.
I will. I mean, okay, so mile 24. Yeah, no, mile 24 I did a 7:31. This is the Garmin time. 7:31. And then mile 25 was the cramp. That is the reason. That added 30 seconds, basically. So basically, mile 25 I did a 7:30 and had a so this. So to give context, mile 25 I was, I'm so bad at math. 1.2 miles from the finish, and fucking felt amazing. I was going up this small hill into like the last segment, literally sprinting. I have my pace chart I posted. I think I got up to like a 6:50 or 6:40 pace on that sprint. I mean, I say sprint. It felt like a sprint to me. That to me is insane that I was able to do that after 25 miles, after never touching 18 miles even. Like, after only touching 18 miles, I don't know how I was able to do that. Anyway, and then my body, though, just wasn't there, was not ready to do that for me. And I was going up a small hill, chasing these 2 really fast kids because they were sprinting too. And just instantly, 2 violent cramps up my hamstrings. Shocked me. Couldn't move. Stood still completely. It hadn't stopped the whole race at all.
because you started sprinting.
Started sprinting. That's why,
Yeah,
100%. And it happened to me in train. So like, how could I avoid that? If like my body
Sprint more, harder running.
Yeah, that's the answer.
Well, it's like you just got to train your body up to that. Usually cramps are a sign of like muscle fatigue, like not being used to that amount of
I think it was that.
output.
I only
So
sprinted a few times.
if you've ran 20 miles before, but you've never sprinted at the end of a 20-mile run, your body has no muscle memory of that, or but it hasn't done that.
So he said the doctor, because I'm spoiling the end, but after the race, I went like literally hypothermic for 30, 40 minutes. Fingers were ice cold. Body was ice cold. Body temperature was like a 90, was it 96 or 92?
95.
95. It was really bad. They said it was mostly water / electrolytes, not having enough. I think it was probably both.
Usually sodium.
But do you think it was like, I wonder what was it mostly that, or was it mostly just me not training sprints enough?
Probably both.
Both.
How was the weather? What temperature was the weather?
A little cold.
It was
Slightly chilly.
58. I want to say 60.
So not that much sweat levels compared to.
Yeah.
It's probably training wise.
But anyway, so yeah, to wrap up my race, and then you can finish your story. Yeah, so had that bad cramp, stood still for 30 seconds, walked like slowly for 30 seconds, but basically stood still. And then just, I remembered that Nick Bear video, which we talked about, where he, on his sub 250, same thing happened to him. He cramped in one leg at like towards the end, stood still walked slowly for like I don't know how long, a few seconds, 10 seconds, and just ripped through it. And that's exactly what I did. I just started running slowly, like skipping almost, and just was able to get through it and finish pretty strong. I think I got back up to like a 640 for a little bit before the last stretch, which the last stretch was probably one of the best memories of my life. The last like half mile, it was going down like just an empty highway, like an empty highway bridge almost, was just completely empty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was like so magical. And I was completely alone.
Wow.
No one, you could watch my finish video. No one's near me. So it was just
Pablo,
like
Video King
Sick.
Pablo, insert finish video here.
sick, right?
Yeah, just running by yourself, just in it.
It's so cool. And I was barely moving though. I was like skipping because I was worried about cramping. I was in pain, but like, oh man, I get goosebumps thinking about it. And like, that's what I told Hunter, and now I think I'm understanding why Jimmy said like you'll be a little depressed after the race. It's because like that dopamine high is like, I just want to go back to that, and I won't be able to until maybe Austin, assuming it goes well. And
Yeah,
there's nothing like that.
Marathon depression's real.
Yeah, did you feel that way?
Post-marathon depression's really real. Yeah, I did.
It's a high. It's a drop. You're a high.
I felt really bad and was craving a lot of things that were bad for me after it. But like,
Wow.
that's what it is. Like your mind's
Skittles.
yeah. Like the amount of ice cream I ate took the 48 hours after New York. I would put down like 3 pints of ice cream. No shame.
Yeah. And you also feel like you deserve it. So you're like, that's added too.
I view if I burn 3,000 calories or more every day, I deserve anything I want to eat.
Anyway,
It's true.
so yeah, finished the race 3:16:30. What sucked partially is like the whole last few miles, I was 100% sure I was going to be under 3:15 because I
Wow.
was like looking at the paces I need. I was like 100%. I looked at it and said I need to hit 8-minute paces because now is I think mile 25ish. Based on what I was doing, my big fuck up, my probably number one fuck up was that I did not have a way to track my average pace for the whole marathon, which was so dumb.
Oh, you set it on the screen?
I didn't have it. All I had was my current
Yeah.
pace, and I thought mentally I'd be able to like track it, because I saw each lap. But that was so dumb. I needed to have that.
Yo, here's a hack I actually just found out that'll help everyone listening to this and you. In the Garmin Connect app, you can load race profiles into the Garmin and then set a pace goal
For the course.
for the course, and then it'll adapt to the elevation and then sync it to your watch and then set that up, and it'll tell you if you're ahead or behind your goal, and it'll automatically from your phone have adapted the elevation. So if you want to run a 7-minute flat, you'll load it up and it'll tell you if you're running a 7 or if you're above or below the entire time. And
Wow.
you can build it for any course or any run. So if you want to do a 10-mile training run, you can sync a 7:30 pace for 10 miles, go in your Garmin, click start, and then it's going to take you on your run. And then all you have to do is maintain it in that. Super helpful. I used it between New York and like the last 4 weeks, and I'm going to try and use that for my next race. It was just syncing in elevation adapted pacing zones.
Let us know how
Smart.
it goes.
Yeah, next time I need to have the Garmin more dialed. That was one of those things that like I feel like because I was busy all week I didn't optimize. But it's good. And then finished the
Wait. Before, does he have to go?
I don't know. Yeah, he's gone.
because I wanted to hear how it was like to track on their end.
Oh, I'll ask him if he comes back.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew they were just having fun betting on us, you know?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
betting on us, shitting on us. Like, it was probably really fun. That's what I heard from them so far.
Okay, so wait, go through you cross the finish line. You have this euphoric moment. What happens next?
I cry for like half a second
Uh-huh.
because I was really proud of myself. Even though I didn't technically hit my goal, I hit it in my brain. I was close enough, and without the cramp, I was going to hit it. So, like, I'm really, 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 really insanely happy. I genuinely thought there was a high chance I would finish the race at like 3:45, 4 hours, not be able to finish like with an injury. Like that was a massive probability in my brain. And yeah, so I was really happy, but I didn't really get to enjoy much. I was kind of delusional because I was going into like hypothermia basically. And so I walked for a little into like the stadium after the race is over, and then I'm just out of it, laying down on the floor. And that's when Tara comes and saves the day.
Wow.
And this random lady, really nice woman, checks on me, let me use her phone to call my mom because I didn't have my phone. And I had to go to the med tent, had to get like covered in tinfoil and warm blankets. And luckily didn't need any fluids or anything, but I was freaking cold for a long time, like 30, 40 minutes after, still fingers ice cold, which was cool. Not cool. It was just weird.
Yeah, super cool.
Super cool. I was just happy though. Once the pain went away and I stopped shivering, I was happy. I was just like, I'm recovering. Like, this is incredible. It was so happy. One of the proudest and happiest moments of my life.
So Tara calls your mom. This random woman finds you in the middle of the ground and is like, yo, what are you doing here? Are you good? Do you need help? Like, what was that like?
I was just on the ground, like laying down. It's when I did a picture of me I posted, like sitting with my legs out, like smiling. Yeah. That was right after my mom got to me. And I was she saw me looking at her. She saw I needed help. And she let me use her phone to call my mom. And you have that amazing story, right? You back in?
Well, I don't want to interrupt. I don't know what you want.
Do you want to ask any questions to Hunter quick? Or
I want to ask about.
He has one more question.
Yeah.
I feel like I kind of like sabotaged your guys' podcast.
No, you're good.
So
Nice.
Not at all. You added to it.
I don't know if you want me
chill.
in it or
It's
not,
chill.
or because I don't have anything really that important to do right now.
It's good. No,
so
we're having this conversation because of you. So
yeah, no, it's great. I was curious what it was like to track it from your end. Of you had us in the app.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of woke up late and I was like, oh yeah, my boys are running a marathon. And I was like, oh, there's a time zone. I didn't miss much. So I think you're 2 hours behind or 1 hour behind.
1.
Yeah, 1 hour behind. So I log in, I'm like, oh, they're only like mile 7 and 8. It's already showing projections. I was like, okay, like none of these matter. I don't.
What was my
I don't even,
really?
I think at one point yours was a 319 or 323, 319. But I was like, none of these matter. Like I'm coming back. I'm checking in 30. I just checked every 30 minutes, and then because it was really accurate. I also was tracking Rideout because he was in second place or first place for a while, and then I think someone passed him, and then he passed again. And like he runs a 2:33, and he's pissed off about it because he's just such a high performing winning savage that it bothers him. But I was watching you guys, and there was, I think, one part where I was like, okay, I was like going through the elevation map. I was like, okay, this looks really flat. This looks easy, and like that looks like hill, hill, hill. I don't know if you guys knew that, like maybe it was Mel.
I knew 18 to 20.
That
18 to
was it, like
hills.
up a hill, down a hill, up a hill, down.
Yep.
3 of them.
Towards the end, 18, 22.
Yeah.
Time to have that too. I feel like.
Yeah, that's where I was like, okay, this is where there's potential blow up zone. That's where I was like watching to see making it through that part.
Made it through.
Yeah.
Barely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We made it
tracking's
through.
easy. Like these apps are insane now. Nowadays it's like tracking NASCAR. Like every person is just, you know where they are.
Were you thinking like I was done? You were believing in me.
I was believing in you. I was texting screenshots to Sahil. So okay, let's read the text message. Let's read the chirps. No, let's see what we got.
So he'll
This is the real stuff. This is the real reason.
When I ran, remember I ran an 18-mile workout.
No, let's start with Sahil. So I get a text from Sahil. How'd Zach do today? This is
Sahil Bloom.
He crossed 16.9 miles at 2:06, still running, predicted 3:17. So you're predicted awesome. Pace hanging in there. Pain cave, yep. He's at Pain. This was when you were going to the hills. He's at Pain Cave Hills right now, around a 7:58 pace. His average is 7:30. I thought Memphis was flat, and then I told him 750 feet of climbing. Then do you want to know what he said, Danny? I told him. Yep. I said 3:16 for Zach, 7:30. He did it. Awesome, love it. What did Danny Miranda run? Said he's still running because you were still running. Projected 3:45. Damn, he got worked. I thought he was in good shape.
Stack it up, Danny. Stack it to the pile.
Love that.
Sorry, he'll hear this. Sorry, I don't expose people's texts ever. I hate reading or screenshotting texts. I don't believe in that, but this is all in good fun. Right? Okay.
No, I love it. I need more of that
there.
in my life.
Let me get the Casey text.
This is great.
We send each other a lot of shit, so I gotta find it. We've been sending each other videos from like Ugandan runners that we found in Africa. Like I have the most sleeper channel. I don't want to share to anyone. It has like 800 subscribers, and it's just like technique from like things pro runners in Africa are doing. That's how like we've taken it to another level of obsession.
I don't know. I'm just looking forward to seeing these texts.
This is I screenshot Zach. He's a 7:23 pace. An hour 38 in, 12.8 miles. Screenshot to Casey. He's gonna die. How do I track? Send me a link. And then it's like I feel his pain from here. He's all over the place. Zach's gonna bonk. Not his fault. First timers. I'm like, yeah. He said to me, I'm going for a 3:15, and then there's a marker coming up at mile 16.9. Going to be telling. If his pace drops way off, stays north of 8, he's in trouble.
Which it did. It did go north.
Yeah. We were like, oh shit.
But the thing is, it didn't. I did not. My pace on my watch.
Then he gets a screenshot. Yeah. Not bad. Then you got a not bad. And then
because it went up.
Then here's the best part. What's your prediction now?
Where was the not bad? Let me
when you were at 16.
I got down to 7:52.
Okay. Then it's what's your prediction right now? And I said, computer. Like I didn't know if he was like computer or personal. Personal. I said, I bet he rips a 3:23. I say 3:41. I said, worst case 3:30. He said, but I hope you're right. I said, let's bet a steak dinner on who's closer. I got a thumbs up on that one. I didn't even ask. I should have had him buy my lunch today. And I'm like, marathon starts at mile 20. He's at 19. He's crushing. This one is just like time zone. And then I sent him the final results. Absolutely amazing. What a boss. And then that's it.
I love it.
It's amazing. It's crazy that you thought Casey thought he was going to get, what, 3:39?
Well, thing is, he's right for most people.
Dude, there's a lot of factors. Like, I think Zach could have cramped at mile 20 and had to walk for 15 minutes. Like, that's the thing. Like, the marathon, my buddy just did CIM, and he was running 2:17 pace. Like, he was going for like a sub 2:20, hit the wall bad, and ran a 2:38. His PR is a 2:26. Like, he was trained to run faster than a 2:26. You never know what's going to happen. You just never know. Like, there's so many factors.
Look at this though.
That's the gamble.
Sorry to interrupt though. Like, what's crazy is, can you pull it up again? My split's at like 13.1. It's okay. Actually, I can find it. What's crazy, Danny, is, and maybe I have to get a better Garmin because my Garmin.
All the Garmins are fucked.
No, but read my 13.1 split. So this says.
Well, no. You got to realize this is not your total pace.
It's for this segment.
It's through the last segment.
Yeah,
so
for 2.1 miles, it says I did a.
Here's the thing: the chip doesn't lie.
I know, but I'm telling you, it's interesting though. Because listen, tell me if I could have done better. It says 8:22. I did from 11 miles to 13.1, but on my watch, listen to what those paces were: mile 11, 7:24, mile 12, 7:25, mile 13, 7:19, mile 14, 7:19, mile 15, 7:22. Doesn't make sense. That's 40. That's a minute.
No,
difference.
because here's the thing
that's a minute difference.
Can happen on the Garmins. Like my New York, when I finished New York, my Garmin didn't even have me running a marathon. Right. It was off by like 0.4 miles.
So was ours. It was 0.2.
Yeah.
Yeah, so all your times are off. If you finish with less miles, but your times are faster, like that means it's.
But that's a minute difference. It doesn't make it so crazy to me.
That's the thing is,
it fucked me up somehow.
Were there tall buildings everywhere or trees?
No.
Some trees, sort of.
Some
Dude,
trees, but
see, like that's the thing. New York makes sense why Garmin sucks in the city.
But
Which-
that's
Yeah.
honestly the reason I didn't make it.
But I run with a phone now more than my Garmin. I only run with Garmin for my heart rate, but I do everything off the phone because it's not accurate. And maybe that's why a lot of guys are switching to Koros, I think it's called.
Fuck it, I'm switching to Koros because this is so bad. This is
Koros
Zach, take
sponsors
some-
this.
Zach,
You need to-
take some
I was under
responsibility.
I thought I was under 725 the whole time until the end, and I was on my watch.
But dude, that's what happened with Casey and why he was pissed about New York because he had to run like 2:58 on his watch, and then he crossed and chip time was a 3-something. And it's,
Damn.
You know what? In the end, though, the truth is though, in the end, the times were like pretty similar,
In the
so
end,
it
the
evens
pros
out.
don't even wear a watch.
Yeah,
They just go out there and run their
Is that
hearts
true?
out. I mean,
Yeah.
most of them, I guess they do maybe.
Well,
like, for
what's
heart
interesting
rate.
is it did kind of even out at the end. Like my Garmin time was actually really close to my actual time. So it's like, but I don't know. It's weird. It's definitely like, yeah, I don't know. I don't like that though. That was a minute off. It shouldn't be like that. That's like, how am I supposed to track myself? I guess you can.
Yeah.
I don't know.
My watch said I read.
It is what it is. All these things are so new that it's like,
Yeah.
bro,
Anyway,
like,
Danny,
who are we to complain? It's this is like complaining about airplanes.
Yeah.
Like,
You should tell your story of the finish. I feel like you didn't get to yet.
by the way,
Wh-
what
which
shoes did you
story?
run in, Danny? What'd you go with?
the same ones that I train with, the Gel Cumulus Asics,
Not-
Gel
Yeah,
Cumulus
race-
25s.
Not carbon plated.
He needs carbon.
No.
Right. I think it's such a difference.
It makes a difference if you're running, like if you're pushing, because it's different bounce. It creates momentum. The whole thing is.
I
like,
didn't want
green.
to. I didn't want to risk it with something I'd never tried before.
Yeah, you
That
have
was
to do
co-
it before you're training. Like I haven't ran. I've only ran my race shoes like 3 miles since New York because I just know they're not good to run in. They're not good for you. They hurt your feet a bit. Not hurt it,
Yeah.
but like they're high performance shoes.
Which do you have?
I've tested all the carbons from Nike, but I use the Vaporfly 2s. Nike Vaporfly Next Percent 2s.
I think
The
you should
2s
try
are better
those.
than the 3s for my foot. But I also I stay on the balls of my feet like the first 18 miles. I'm pretty bouncy, and they're made for that type of runner. They're bouncy with forward momentum. If you're striking the heel or the middle of your foot, then it's going to change the way that shoe reacts.
And you mainly go on your toes
Now
for
I
your
do.
first. Gotcha.
Just like my body is pretty strong for like running on the balls of the feet. Less foot impact time, so it can bounce more.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
Yeah, see, dude. My Garmin said I ran a 254, which is like
What was your time?
I started this
For
the
New York?
second I started
Yeah.
and crossed the finish line.
256?
Yeah, it was a 256.24, and it says 254.52
Weird. Where did those 2 minutes go?
So what do you
Only
think?
God
Prediction?
knows.
Can I?
in the bathroom taking a shit.
Yeah, how
Oh,
long
there
was
you go.
that? It was 2 minutes.
Did you stop it? Did you stop it when you took a?
You didn't stop it, right? No. Why would? Yeah, that's you can't stop the marathon time. So,
Yeah.
you think I'll do sub 3 in Austin?
So wait. So what's next? we're going to Austin next in
Yeah.
76 days as we're recording this. Zach signed up today and regrets it already. What's
Yeah,
new?
the elevation's kind of bad, but I do think if I can be smart, it's at the beginning. It looks like there's a huge hill in the beginning, and then it's pretty okay. So it's like, all
Yeah.
right, just shave your legs on that big hill, start of the race, go a little slower, and then hope you didn't, burn too much.
That's February 18th, 2024. You already got your race strategy. Do you have?
I would say February in Austin's probably some pretty good weather, right?
Yeah, it's good weather.
Yeah.
Let's Google it. February Austin weather.
Is Austin at sea level or is it at elevation?
Pretty sure it's
You
sea
know?
level.
Sea
Yeah,
level?
sea level. 45 to 65.
Yeah, it's great weather.
What do you think about training on the course? Do you think that'll be helpful? Not helpful? What do you think? And I do have an advantage or disadvantage by being in Austin, training for the Austin Marathon here. It doesn't matter.
If you want to have like mental memories of where everything is, I think that's helpful because then you think, okay, this is where the hill is, this is where it's flat. Now like this is flat. I can attack here. I'm gonna have to conserve energy, run slower. Yeah, I'd say it's kind of tactical for yourself. Like when I used to race mountain bikes, you'd always go ride the course before, and you could learn it. Then you can know, like, okay, there's a really steep hill in the middle. There's a really technical downhill. The flats are tons of places to pass, and then like where you can make moves. And then also you can, if you know how the hill is, and you've ran it, then in your mind you're like, okay, that hill's not that bad. It's gonna be at mile 10. I know how it feels. I honestly go around every single hill and just map out where the hills are because a flat road's easy.
Yeah.
But hills, it's like, okay, how steep is this now? Imagine running it after 20 miles.
Because I feel like the hills on the elevation map, you just have no clue what it means until you run it.
Yeah.
No clue.
But I felt like not knowing made me like, just like, all right, it is what it is. Just do whatever is in front of you. You don't have a choice. You know, that was like kind of what I was thinking of as well. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So what's your prediction for, I mean, you don't know anything about like training or anything like that, but you think I could shave 15 minutes off my 3:39 in Austin?
I think you.
Yeah,
I'm asking. I'll give my opinion, which is super uneducated.
I think if you train and get your body fat down, like I forget who said it, but like every pound you lose is I think like 5 seconds faster a mile.
5 would be a lot.
3 to 5 seconds is what.
Makes sense though.
I don't know. I'll tell you this. I dropped 10 pounds since August because like even this last month I'm like cut. Because if I can run a 239 or 241 just because of this week, I'm like not starving myself, but I'm definitely.
No, honestly, it might be 5. Think about how much faster I got by losing weight. 20 pounds. 20 pounds is what? If that's 5.
I mean, but then if you think about that, that's like if I lose 10 pounds, I lose 50 seconds a mile, which kind of could make sense. I don't know.
Could you lose 10 more pounds?
I just did lose 10 pounds.
You did?
Yeah, I was
Since
170. I weigh 160 right now.
Austin, New York City, you were
Since
170?
August 1st.
Okay. So, yeah.
But I don't feel like I got any skinnier, which is the best part of it. I lifted heavy all year while running and then cut 10 pounds. But I also feel like I feel cold. The problem is like last week it was cold. Dude, my body like has no fat. There's nothing keeping it warm anymore. Like I'm looking forward to finishing this and then getting kind of fat, like getting some weight back on the frame.
Do you have any goals for after, or you're not even thinking about that?
I don't know. Maybe go on a vacation, land on a beach.
Doesn't sound like you.
For like 2 days.
2 days.
With a girl.
2 days.
It'd be
You
nice.
deserve it, yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Just lay there.
And what
in the sun.
What before we get there, what's your official prediction for yourself for Tucson?
There's so many factors. I'd love to rip a 243. I mean, dude, I'd love to rip a 238, but like I think I could be dreaming. I don't really know. I think New York was a 256, some bathroom issues, some stomach issues, sprained ankle
Steak the night before.
Yeah,
What's that?
I just like steak, man. Thought the steak would be okay. I like steak. I wish I could just eat steak instead of carbs and run fine. I'd say though, like, I think a 240. I think a sub 250 at New York was realistic, without any. I mean, the sprained ankle was huge. I didn't even know if I was going to run New York. I was going to drop out. Like I was going to defer to next year. But I think Tucson's a little bit nicer course. It's pretty much like a flat decline with one hill in the middle. So, I mean, in a perfect world, run like a 6-minute flat pace the entire time. That would be like freak mode, perfect world. I'll be really happy. I'd be exceptionally happy, and I could sleep really well off season because I don't really feel like running anything through the winter. 60 miles a week in New York just doesn't interest me in winter. I want to just sit down and work.
I was thinking I'm going to start because I have this Austin marathon. Would you do Austin?
No.
Just because of the elevation?
Dude, the best
He said no. He said no so quickly.
Like,
Why? Why not more?
because the body. It's not made.
You did 12 a year.
How long do you think I need to recover? How long do you think? The week?
12 was not at like it's not good for you, and that's not a race. Like there's some stopping there, but like the best in the world run 2 a year because they're building their plan around the 2. Like I've just ran 2 in 2 months at like extreme push, coming off of like 600 miles ran in 3 months.
But what about people trying to build up? Like the best in the world, the Kipchoge, right? He's doing 2 a year maybe. But like, what about me trying to get good? Like, how many should I be doing?
You don't get good from the marathon.
Yeah, I know. But that's a good point.
The marathon's just a.
So how much should I be doing to test myself then? Like, is Austin too soon even? Probably. It's fine.
It's like, what is it?
Like
2.5 months?
I'll get like 10 weeks of training.
It's 11 weeks away.
I'll get like 9 weeks of training.
Yeah, it's fine.
Maybe 8. It's technically 8 months. It's technically 2 months of training with a taper. Yeah.
Good.
But I did 1 month this time and did pretty good. So it's like.
What could 2 months do for you?
Exactly.
Probably.
Yeah.
So
like a 1:15 half.
I think after this one, I'm going to go try and run like a 1:15 half marathon. Like
that's crazy.
That'd be, yeah. I think that's what I think I can do based on. I think New York, but I was on pace for like a 1:19. So half before bathroom break. So 1:15 would be insane. 1:10 would be freak.
Freak. I just swallowed a Skittle whole. All right, let's get back to let's finish the pod good. Let's
Yeah.
this
So-
became, you can go whenever.
No, I love it. I love
was good
exactly
to
how
be
it
here.
turned out.
This was hilarious. When I
Hunter,
hopped
I'm so
in, did
happy.
you just start?
We were probably 30 minutes in, right?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was perfect. This was perfect. This is a special guest appearance. This is a
We want to
feature
do
on
a pod anyway. So,
Yeah, I
and we could
texted
do another
Zach,
one.
like,
could
we should
talk-
do a
could
pod,
talk all
but-
about the dark place. That'd be fun.
Dude, it's funny how when you think about the dark place, it's only when you're in it, and then it goes away, and then you're, let's sign up for the next one.
Instantly.
And it's like the happy place is the second you cross the finish line, and the dark place is in the
For me,
run.
Took like a while.
Oh yeah, me too.
that's so
I went to the
different.
medical tent.
Did you have the same thing, shaking?
I was just laid down, passed out for like 30 seconds. They're like shaking me to get up.
Yeah.
I'm in this like hot, cold
Yeah.
state.
That's because we both went too deep into the dark place.
I
If you go
was like,
any
I'm
deep-
gonna go. Like, I'm finishing this. If I drop over at the finish line, that's like, I want to give it every little bit that my body has.
Tyler's getting me a coach, Swartz.
Nice. I mean, he's the most well-connected person
Yeah,
in
probably.
New York City running, it seems like. So,
Yeah, or I
That's
don't
good.
know. I might just try to get connected with some of these savage coaches. We'll see.
do you have anyone in mind you want to coach?
I don't
you?
know. It'd be sick if Nick Bear's guy could make me a plan. I don't know if
Yeah.
he's would do that, but
I want Lance Armstrong's old coach. Juice me up. Use me as
Juice
a
you
test
up,
rat.
bro.
Use me as a test rat to see what we can get out of this human limits. I'll be data. I'll be science. Whoever listens to this, if you're a scientist or a doctor, privately contact me. We can discuss doing a closed study on athletic performance.
Absolute madman.
all right,
out
bye,
here.
Hunter.
Thanks for having me. See you, Daddy.
Epic pod. Epic 1 hour.
See, that was great. Worked out perfect.
Yeah, perfect. Let's take it home. I feel like we've got to give Noah. What did you learn from Noah, and what was it like having Noah around for 3 days? He basically was like our mental coach, our stretching coach, our handyman on the racetrack, running with us. What was it like? What was your experience with Noah? Noah Heisman.
Heisman. It was incredible. I mean, I wrote, I've never met a person like Noah, never met someone who would do that. And he genuinely he got me through the race 100% with, seeing him, and he helped me with the waters, and he pushed me, especially at that last segment was everything. The reason I don't think I would have been able to push to the end without that, I don't know. He really got me going again. And, yeah, man, just pure generosity, pure service. That's one word I'd sum up Noah with is service. That's all. Everything he does is for other people. His
Yeah.
gym is for other people.
Yeah.
It's that dude is special. So thanks, Noah.
Yeah, we got to figure out a way to really, pay it back is the wrong word, but just I just appreciate him so much, and I hope we can be there to support him in a similar way for one of his life events that is significant to him, because he was there for us right when we got to Austin. Randomly, he just became our friend and just took us under his wing, and he just did that again for the marathon, and it was cool because when we came home from our Austin trip last year and he took us around and showed us everything, I was telling my parents, oh my God, you got to meet this Noah guy. He's incredible. He's helping us out so much. And then for our parents to see it firsthand was so cool. The exact same thing he did for us while we were visiting Austin for the first time, he did for our first marathon. Pretty incredible.
It was the same. It
Yeah.
was amazing. Yeah, he just he was my coach 100% for this one.
So cool.
It was yeah, I don't know. I can't say enough about him. It's what he did is amazing.
Yeah.
We will pay. I will repay it back somehow. I don't know. Maybe I'll do it by forcing him to do good in the half marathon. Forcing him to go hard.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be fun. So many people that we know are already signed up for it and already.
We got to go
half
hard
of the
now.
full-
Now that I signed up, we got to get some people to sign up and rip it, I'm gonna put out a tweet.
I'm already
after-
getting texts about it.
I'm gonna put out a tweet right now saying like, "Come rip the Austin Marathon." Yeah,
Love
yeah.
that.
Come rip it. It will change your life if you just you don't have to be feel ready right now. Like I said, 2 months before this Memphis marathon, I was freaking running. You look at it would. I'll have to do a full maybe breakdown because I think what I did is actually insane, and there was some like strategy behind it in my opinion. But if you look at my runs in like September and even October, dude, I was doing like 4 miles at like 9-minute paces, 8-minute pace, 8:30 paces.
Bro,
Like
that's
struggling.
good.
I know.
That's what you're
but I was
supposed-
like, that was like my best. Like I wasn't going faster than that. It's crazy. I don't have a ton of heart rate data. Like I didn't always wear like the right watch, but like dude, I got a Garmin 2 weeks before the race.
Crazy. And I feel like you're in the perfect scenario of you had a strong aerobic base in college, I'm
Yeah.
guessing, from
Yeah.
playing soccer.
Yeah.
And also, so like you were building that back up, and also
Yeah.
you're a great athlete, and also like
Yeah.
you were dropping pounds. Like there were so many factors working
There was
in
a lot.
your favor.
100%. 100%. Yeah. But it's just amazing how like all these little, I think that's why I like running. It's just all these tiny little things all come together into this one ridiculously simple thing, which is just a time.
Yeah.
That's all you get. All you get is a few digits. But behind those
Yeah.
digits is this near infinite amount of small decisions. Every single step you take in every single session of training creates that time. That's what's amazing about it. That's what
Yeah.
obsession is, right? It's like all those details no one ever sees, but they see the work eventually. And the work is just your time, a few digits.
Yeah.
It's amazing, right? And behind those digits is, a novel of stories and experiences and training. Yeah.
That's what I felt. That's what I felt when I was standing at the start line, of just like all of this comes to this moment right now. And this is just the beginning for all of it, for
Just
the
the
journey.
beginning.
That's how I felt when I finished. I was like, well, this is the start of an amazing journey right now with running, because I love this and I'm going to do this again.
Correct. It is just the beginning. You already know like the delusional plans I have now, and like I'm just excited. That's how I felt on the plane ride home. I don't know about you, but I was just like, wow, my life just kind of started.
Take me through that. What was that like on the plane ride home?
Well, I just feel like I haven't been this excited about something in forever, and like feel like I just discovered this opportunity to have, like this potential I have. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like someone tweeted that at me. It's like, dude, you just discovered like, untapped potential. And that's exactly what it is. It's wildly untapped. There's been a drop of it that's come out. And I think that's the most exciting part. Like what happens when I open the faucet for years and let it rip, Like I look at a picture, I was kind of going hard on the running shit. So I'm taking a break, but like I was doing those AI pictures of like me running, and there's one that looks almost exactly like me, the picture I posted that my dad took of me at the finish line. And it's like, dude, I've just been trying to become this savage athlete for like all year basically. And now it's slowly becoming real, which is cool.
Finding a thing that you feel like you have potential towards, that expands your world, that you're excited about.
Yeah.
So special. And to do it with people that you love as well. Like I'm so grateful that we could do this journey together, and that like our families could be involved with it. And my parents came out and your parents came out, and I got to meet them and see how sweet of humans they are. And my parents' support, like to do it all with people I love, to me, like that's really the win. And that's why I was so content with a 3:39 or a 4-hour marathon or a 3:25 or a 4:15. It was just like I would have found ways to find enjoyment from the process because I was doing it with people, so many people that I loved.
Correct. It was one of the best weeks ever. One of the best weeks and weekends ever. Having all those people together for us. Really cool.
You described it like it was like this, like in some sense like a wedding, in some sense like a birthday, like running your first marathon.
A marathon
is a really special day. It can be.
Yeah, it's a wedding for pain. And you only get to, it's one person, it's just you, but like the congratulations you get, it's basically like getting a wedding. So it's like some people get married in their 20s and some run marathons, and you just choose what you want to be. Either way, you'll get a bunch of DMs saying congrats. Both are pain.
Hilarious.
Both are different forms of pain, I guess. Anyway, let's keep.
And the one theme from the weekend was like you go to the dark place and I go to the light place. That seemed to come up like a million times throughout the week.
I think so.
Any
I think that
thoughts on that?
we realized this week. I feel like we get along so well because we're kind of opposites in a lot of ways, and I don't think it's bad. But it's like that's just who we are, and that's why we like each other and get along. But there are, similarities, similar passions, similar obsessions, and but I think it's like where we get motivation from. I feel like is different, and it's interesting. So yeah,
where do you
go
get
to
motivation from?
that voice, and I the voice that I've been writing content from for years. All the posts, like your mom meets me, says I'm so different in person, and it's true. Like I don't talk like that in person. I'm pretty happy in person most of the time. Pretty like, I don't know, what's the right word? Innocent, like just like having fun.
Pure.
And yeah, pure. And like the dark place is that voice in my head that knows I'm capable of more. And I haven't always been acting the right way, but I've been literally just writing it online. Those thoughts I have, that's what it's been. That's what my Instagram is, And I should talk more about that because it would, I think, make it clear for other people to listen to that voice from themselves,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one of my big realizations also from the week was like how the real thing about obsession and why you talk about it so much is to reframe it from a negative to a positive.
Yes.
Which is almost like taking it from a dark place in society, like you're so obsessed with that being a negative connotation, to you're so obsessed with that being a positive connotation. And it's already kind of done that in a small way over the past 2 years because of you. And because of the way you
in our
frame,
circles, yeah.
Definitely. I mean, not mainstream, but in the worlds we hang out with, if someone says obsessed, they're like thinking about it in a positive way, which is really cool that you're responsible for.
I mean, this run is the perfect example. What just happened the last few months with the running this was obsession. This is what I do when I'm obsessed. I literally did nothing else except running, and that's why I was able to get the time I was able to do in the short amount of time I did because like we said, there were a lot of factors that came together, and that required obsession. Obsession, like you have all these, it's kind of a cool way to think about it. Like you have all these little dots of details, right? And the only way to connect them is with obsession. The only way to see them and connect them is through obsessing and bringing those strings together and creating the picture that they create together. I don't know. I'm just thinking in analogies, but it's that's how I view it.
Super cool. And it's the reason for, I think, like the reframing of a lot of just people are going to change their perspective. And similar to the dark place, you said like that's going to be the most important concept that you ever write about, potentially.
I think so.
Why is that?
Probably because it's like the dark place, when you think about it, like that's the most important place you ever go because it shows you who you really are and who you're really capable of being. And giving it a name, a specific name, helps people, one, know it's there, and one, know like when they're in it. Like I get DMs now saying like when I lift, I remind myself to go to the dark place. I think about going there. I feel like I'm there, So if that's the most important place to go, and if I can come up with a term, which I didn't come up with, I just like packaged it. It might be the most important thing, more important than obsession, more important than anything. Yeah, I don't know. I love that phrase. That people love it as well.
And a couple of things on that. It's like a dark place is something that is typically negative connotation, and you're trying to move it to the dark place having a positive connotation, or at least like being able to use that dark place you go to make people more understanding of what they're going through, which is
you go to the dark place to get to the light place. That's how I view it. I don't know. That's how I view it. It's like, that's how I view it. You don't stay there. You go in though for periods of your life. And then you get out. And if you stay too long, you get hypothermia like me.
And then also another thing that you said to me, which was really interesting, which is like, it's a good sign when people start repeating back to you the thing that you are saying.
Correct. And people are
for
repeating it
creators.
Yeah.
For creators.
100%. And now you're
Just
kind of
want to point
experiencing that, right? With your own term, right?
Yeah. We'll get into that in another time, but
Okay.
I'm very, very grateful for just like just all the insights and wisdom over the past week. It's meant a lot, and I'm really just grateful to have spent so much time with you. And I see and sense within you just like coming to a more authentic place for both of us, online and in person and in every moment. And so I think that's really what we're here to do, like really truly express ourselves as we really are and not hide any bit of ourselves because we're scared or insecure. And I think we're both coming to new versions of ourselves every day. I feel that.
That's what I said in, thank you. That's what I said in my post where I mentioned you. I'm like, you just always push me to be the truest version of myself. And that's why I appreciate you so much, you know?
Yeah. It's been a special journey, bro. It's been a special journey thus far. It's only been 2.5 years. But it's in some sense just beginning.
Just beginning, and, you know, our next pod will probably be after the Austin Marathon, I guess. We'll do another one.
I would imagine.
And we'll do another wrap-up.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll figure out how to do it in person.
Yeah.
But
if we have the energy. I feel like next time we probably will.
We had so much energy the day after, like going through every single thing and explaining it.
We did. We did.
We were just like, we should do the pod right now. We should have.
Yeah, we should have.
But this was great. Any final closing thoughts you have for the people?
Sign up for the Austin Marathon immediately, even if you're just starting to run. Like the ideal situation is you've been kind of getting into running this year, going on maybe 1 or 2 runs a week, maybe a few more, and you maybe feel like the Austin Marathon's too soon, but it's perfect time. 11 weeks is perfect. I would sign up, even if it's just a half marathon. It really takes. I think running, you start liking it when you get good at it. It takes a long time to get good at it, just like anything. And I would encourage you to try to get good at it and spend the time.
Yeah. And I think for me at least, it wasn't that I got good at running. It was that I was seeing progress and I was seeing myself get faster. And
Yeah, same idea. Yeah, same idea. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Because good is super relative in running.
Yeah, exactly. So progress is infectious and just keeps you going.
And it compounds like nothing else, I feel like, in running, especially if you have some weight to lose like me. And I feel like most people probably, if you're listening to this, could lose a little weight or fat, whatever. And it's like, damn, you're going to feel like a new human.
Yeah. So.
All right, let's wrap it.
Let's wrap it there. So grateful for you, bro. Such a great episode. Hunter, special guest appearance.
got a little messy in the beginning, in the middle, but it's all good.
No, that's exactly madman energy that we would expect.
Correct.
Follow this man at Zach Pogrob on Twitter and Instagram, and subscribe to the 10 Bullets newsletter. Anywhere else we should send people?
That's it. You got it.
Cool.
Twitter, Instagram. That's it.
Cool. Good stuff. All right. Until next time, Godspeed.
Godspeed.